Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel, Heart and Soul with Nat. Apologies, I've not been on as promised, just been doing catching up with Facebook readings and posts, trying to juggle all this. If you've managed to find my videos amongst the millions and millions out there, my newbie little channel, thank you. Thank you to any new subscribers. Thank you for putting up with me, blah blah blah. Get straight in it today. It's not normally, as you know, we do pick a card readings, tarot show and tell, what we've got going off today, anything spiritual, it all goes off here. Today there will be a pick a card reading uploaded after this one. Well, I'm going to film it, so it should be uploaded today / morning, wherever you are in the world. Today it's just a little bit of a show and tell of my tarot collection and a little bit of my take on the different types that I've got. So if you're a little bit of a, I wouldn't call myself a massive beginner, but I'm not an expert either. I think I'm probably in the middle now, a little bit of a novice still. So by all means, I'm no professional with the tarot. I think we're all still learning every day. I've worked with oracle cards for 2 years and over on Facebook, so tarot cards and YouTube is new for me, so it's a learning process, as I've said in my other videos. So I'm going to jump straight right in and show you the deck that I'm working with and learning and loving at the moment. I've also, if you're a tarot lover, now this is a bit like Marmite, as I say, you love it or you hate it. As you can tell, I've edged this deck myself. If you want to know anything about that, or I've got some more coming, I might even do a video on that. I just use a Sharpie pen, like you say. I'll do another video and I will link it to this one. Going on, this is the Gilded Tarot by, oh I know his name, I can't pronounce it. Chio Marchetti, Chio, something like that. I will put some links in the description, just the titles of everything. Like I say, nothing sponsored. These are all my own personal collection, but I do get the majority of my cards from Amazon. This came in a box, How to Learn Tarot. It come with a book and everything like that. I've made these personally my own because they're what I'm using at the moment. So they've gone in a little bag. The only ones I really have in a bag. And I've edged the deck. I do have some pictures over on my Facebook before and after. You can see that they were white, and it just gives it that, to me, they look more expensive, they look thicker. They're a great good cardstock anyway, and a good quality deck. But it gives it that, that edge, excuse the pun. Also reminds me, apart from the pictures obviously, it gives it that feel of the Dark Mansion Tarot, which I'm dying to get, can't get in this country. I just love the edging. Lovely backs on these cards too, great for pictures, great for working with. Some people don't like the shiny cards. Now these are, they have got a shine to them, but they don't stick. They've always shuffled well. I mean, I don't do the cut and flip shuffle, like the card shuffle I call it. It reminds me of playing cards. One, I'm not very good at it, and I don't like bending my cards. I think everyone's got their way. Anyway, going on, don't want to get too much into it. Like you say, not a review, more of the different styles of tarot deck. So if you know, this does follow a bit more brighter. It does follow the Rider-Waite style of the story in the cards, obviously with the swords and everything. Not as much. I prefer this colourful. I'm not fussed on the original Rider-Waite or Rider-Waite, depending on your accent and how you pronounce it. But I'm getting more drawn to them. I might even get the golden version because that's just me and my taste. So, but I can see I'm a lot more drawn to them now. I'm studying the tarot because I can definitely see in the images how they relate to the meanings of the cards. I obviously read a lot with my intuition as well, especially when I'm so used to reading oracle cards. I'm a very more of a visual rather than words, if there's any key words. This one's a little bit different. This one does throw me out there because there's nothing else really with that, like the Seven of Cups. But all the others, we've got, you know, you can see with the meanings. She says, look, let's get what, you know, the Seven of Swords, having to defend what you've got, coming so far, you're still holding on to one thing and all that, blah, blah, as you know. Also, the different suits, like the wands are red. I think greens, pentacles are green, earth, as you do. So you can connect with them, the earth, air, fire. Obviously, we've got the red ones, the Nine of Wands. So you can see we have got that depiction and that pictures just like the original. And then the major arcanas, they are gorgeous cards. Let's see, Magician. Five of Cups, you know, the saddest card in tarot. Well, this is how I reflect on them now. I've been learning. Anyway, so that's my deck that I'm working with at the minute, that I love, that I'm going through every day, practice reads in my head. And that's the only one I keep in a bag. This bag, I just had at hand. I will, obviously, as you can see, it doesn't really fit, but there you go, in the cupboard. I also sometimes just pop my crystal in there, as I will do today, because I'll be using that. Next deck, very, very similar to the original Rider-Waite, is the Witchy Tarot by Ellen Duggan. Is that how you pronounce it? Now, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but obviously, there's two lots to this. I do know on Amazon, once again, not affiliated, it's just Amazon's my best friend over here in the UK. You can get this deck on its own, or you can get it in the box with the book. This was gifted to me. This was brought to me by my sister, who also reads for my birthday. So this is great. I've brought all my cards and decks, before. Like you say, everyone's got their own superstitions and do's and don'ts with tarot. Some people believe they should be gifted. I'm not. I'm a great believer. If you go, there's no right and wrong. Anyway, another topic, another video. So these come on their own or with the book. They are obviously cheaper on their own over here in the UK. And I know a previous Facebooker had posted and she was after to get the book, which you can't really get on its own. Well, I had trouble finding. But as I'm playing about one day, never really used this. Scan for guidebook. So I pulled up my little scanner thing on my phone. Boom. PDF file straight there. The Witchy Tarot by Ellen Duggan. And the book's there. Not a lot of people always use the guidebook, but there's different spreads in there, and it's got, you know, it follows that witchy, Wiccan, magical theme. So there we are. Top tip. Anyway, so following on, this just comes in a little box. Didn't mention that's what this one had come in. That's why I didn't like it, because it got ripped. I like this box, but they probably will eventually go in a bag. Now, once again, I've edged this deck only once. This one does need another coat. They were white, but I think they just look loads better. The backs are gorgeous. I love the moons on them. Now, just want to touch on this. You probably can't see here, and like you say, this is still very valued to me because it was given to me by my sister, and she's also spiritual like me. I think these cards come, this is definitely the mass produced pack, the cheaper, and I'm not going to say cheaper because I love it. I don't want to shuffle these because they're in order. The cardstock, it is thinner, but I like them. They fit perfect in my hand. It's not by all papery. Now, obviously, I've edged these with a Sharpie. So, but I just want to see if you can see on here. Can you see the blue? By all means, that was there before I'd edged with my Sharpie pen. like you can see the edging as if they're just not quite, and I've never noticed that on them before. And I'm only saying this because I know there's 2 different versions of these decks out there, so just for everyone to be aware of. It was just there. Now these are great. These really do follow. A few of them have been changed names, as you can see. We've got the High Priest, and the Wheel of Fortune becomes the Wheel of Year, and the Judgment is the Karma. So that often you will see on lots of tarot decks, especially the Doreen Virtue decks. I'm going to show you in a minute. Once again, controversial. Marmite, you love it or you hate it. I had her decks. Anyway, we'll touch on that in a minute. Back to these. We've got, if we can go over, so we've got the Fool. As you can see, these are really close spin-off to the Rider White. I don't know if they're called a clone or not. Is that what they would call these? Very similar they are, but with that gorgeous witchy theme as well. And the Emperor. Have we got anything else that's a little bit different? Lovers, the Chariot, as you can see. Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to keep these in some kind of order. Only on this deck because I've been going through my book and I've been trying to compare them myself. But as you can see, I do like this one. Love that card. I've got the wizardy feel. I think that's very similar, like say, to the other card. The one that I picked out, it had a different one on each. Obviously does reflect with the meaning. There's still only a handful at the minute that I'm always referring back to. This one I know is loss, you know, where you have lost something but you don't realise you've not lost it all. It's a little bit of a self-pity card. So, once again, on the Three of Cups, the friendship, always 3 women. I like this because it makes me think of if I was pulling these cards for a certain reason and I was reading them for any of my spiritual friends, you know, gives me the witchy circle feeling. 2 of Cups, Ace of Cups, and so on. Then lovely family card. So as you can see, very similar and very much follow the traditional storyline. Stabbed in the back, deception, nightmares, staying up late at night, and so on and so forth. So them 2, they're my favourite go-to for learning them at the minute. Now quickly on to these ones I brought. Really quirky. Once again, it might not be everybody's style. The Vanessa Tarot, and they come in a tin, which I love. Great size. Great for chucking in your handbag on the go. If you want a bit of a quirky deck for your friends, this would be great in the summer. If I was out, I'd, you know, just light-hearted. They come with, you know, the little extra card. And I like the guidebook. For me, yeah, it's not a lot. Not everybody goes to, but for me, that I just need, I draw a blank. So I just need that keyword and it sparks in my head and I'm babble, babble, babble. As you know, if you've seen any of my videos. So the great, yeah, just for on the go, messing around, showing, you know, if you want a deck and people asking questions, and it's very girly, as you'll see in a moment. So they just do the aces, so it's all of the aces, the wands, the cups, the swords. But as an overall, this is great that you can compare them all together. So me, where I draw a bit of a blank with the pages and the knights or princesses, or, you know, the different in each thing. You can see which one represents at a glance. You've got them all on a page, and they are obviously only a little sentence. But for me, just for triggering your memory, I like that little gimmick. Now, this at the minute, as you can see, I edge my other deck. So this is just like a pet hate for me. I've got, drop a comment below if you should think I should edge this in the purple, which is what I wanted, all the blue. So if that edge there would look better in the blue, to bring out the blue in the cards, or the purple. What do you think? Drop a comment below and let me know, guys. Now, as you can see, these are a bit like type playing cards. They are by, so you can see, they are by US Games Systems, US Games Inc. Which, the minute I seen these, I Googled, Amazon Googled, should I say, US Games, and they've got loads more on a tin, and they're on my wish list too. So, a bit like playing cards. They are thinner, so great for doing your proper shuffle that I can't do. But by all means, they're not too flimsy, you know, at all. I like them. They've got that little bit of a shine. They're not too matte, but they're not sticky. As you can see, comical. They are very versatile, get my words out as well. Some of the meanings, some of them don't. If you are a tarot reader, it doesn't matter. But like me, if you're learning, I'm trying to stick to these others at the moment to really get them in. But I will go to these and mix them up with other readings. Rivalry and fighting and that with the 5 of Wands, as you can see. 10 of Wands, studying. The 8 of Wands, this is very bewitchy card, you know, fast speed, things coming at you. The Hermit, it's very different, very Egyptian feeling there to me. Still says to me, green and a healer and that type. She's at home with all her books around her, so you can still see it's got that sense. The Wheel of Fortune, literally being the wheel. We've got what have we got that stands out? Like the Fool. She's off on a road trip, not quite sure where she's going to go. So I thought these were great and quirky. I thought especially on here I might do a bit of a card read, sorry guys, but aimed at a bit girly with a little bit of a twist of it in it. You know, what do you need to do to amp up your girly power? I think because they're very feminine, these cards. Even the 10 of Swords, you know, it's like, yeah, whatever, I'll get out of this. She's got a little voodoo doll at the ready. Even this doesn't bother her. So I like the little spin on this that it can take off. You know, picking up someone in a bar, very funny. You know, definitely being kept up late at night with the eye mask. The 10 of Coins. She seems a little bit snobby to me, you know, not, you know, just in a funny. I would do this with friends, and just wanted to show you which one they've changed in here. We've got the High Priestess, that's very Addams Family to me, still very gothic. Purple, so that screams spiritual to me. And I'm not going to be able to find the one I wanted to show you, are we? I think it was the World card. Is the Universe, and it looks like, and she looks like Miss Universe. It's very funny, as you can see, just comical. And I think also, if you have a lot of friends, they can the pictures can remind you of certain people. So if you was wanting a light-hearted read to it, or here we are, anything different, you know, rather than the world, it's still got the same meaning, but you can see, like, Universe to me, she's like Miss Universe. Love the backing of them. I love that they're not mini, but the hand shape, they're great to shuffle. So yeah, they're a great, oh look, as we've landed on that, they're a great quirky little buy. Now, instead of waffling too much now, I'm just going to go quickly through 2 of these decks that I'm not drawn to, that I can't, I don't use, and I don't think I will use, even though now I am learning the tarot. I don't think I will. So if you keep a look out, maybe on here, or if you go and join my Facebook page and groups, I am doing some gifting, you know, some competitions, gifting away some decks, and these two will definitely be in there because hardly ever been used. They've never been used. I think I've done 2 readings with these and just can't, I'm just, as you'll see why, they're very different in a moment. The gorgeous cards, love the imagery, lovely. They're the Stokes Legends Tarot. I think they were £10 from Amazon. Like, again, just the standard little box, and they're from, and there's the publisher, Fortuna. This just come with, oh, like a piece of paper. Oh, it got ripped with the meanings on. Anyway, so I got these about a year ago thinking I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to learn the traditional tarot, and I was drawn to all the pictures and it's shown a few of them, but I can't take to them. Obviously I'm new, these are a different style and they're not following the traditional Rider-Waite style, but they are, and I know I'm going to pronounce this wrong. You are all going to know what I mean, and I'm going to say it wrong and you're all going to laugh. Is it the Mersey Tarot or something? Not the Rider-Waite, anyway. So as you can see, the 6 of Cups is just the 6. Yes, we've got the blue representing the cups, the emotions, the water, I would say. So straight away we've got that. And then red being fire on the swords, but nothing else really. So for me, like the 8 of Swords you'll see in a minute is probably the same as the 5 of Swords. Do love the Pentacles suit. I love this, very witchy, spiritual, really love that. As you can see, what did I say, 4 or 5? We've got the 4, so they're the same. So they're that style, the style I can't pronounce, but you know what I mean. And then the wands being very earthy, I suppose. See, I would have put green with Pentacles really, but hey ho. The unicorn, so the gorgeous cards. And then the minor arcana, obviously we've got strength, and we've got the numbers in Roman numerals, and also I've got these in different languages as well, so the universal, which I think she does on a lot of her cards. They have got that shine to them. They're so soft in my hand, they float. They're shiny, but they don't stick. I really love that. So I would definitely get from this publisher and author and everything, I'd get this style again, but you know, different pictures, because just me personally at the moment, with me being a newbie, gorgeous they are. So let's see if we can get some of the minor arcanas. And we've got the King of Wands. So it doesn't give me a lot, like you say, personally, justice. Oh, I love that. Great imagery, great if you tattoo ideas. And they go lovely with me. I've shown you this. I was going through my little dragon phase. Got this from my shop local to me in Nottingham. Anyway. So, and the Queen of Cups, I mean, lovely, gorgeous, fantasy, gothic, the Magician. So she's got a wand, all purpley. So I was drawn to the imagery. Absolutely gorgeous. But just not for me. If this is something of your style, you're sat there, I love that, I want them, they're on my wish list. That's great. Drop me a comment below. All I suppose I'd ask is, if you know, subscribe, like my videos, anything like that. All I want, you know, to get growing, get out there. Come and join my Facebook page, Facebook group, because when I'm not on here, I'm always doing something. Instagram, I've given up with that. That's just going to be like a once a week thing, but daily I'm always over there. Facebook groups, or you know, still get me on here. And any competitions I do hold, I will, if it is over there, I'll make sure there's a video here explaining, so you guys, anyone that hasn't got Facebook or Instagram are not going to miss out either. But they will definitely be going in that collection because I just can't warm to them, as gorgeous as they are. Another deck I have had for about, I bet I've had these 2 years now, is that, and I love Colette Baron-Reid, I love her books. I've got 3 more of her other decks, 2 on my wish list. So really, really love her cards. Love the idea of how she's done this different. Once again, it's just my personal choice that I can't warm to. A little bit of a different style. So I'm a bit, especially when I brought this, I looked at the reviews on YouTube, as you do, 2 years ago. Never thought I'd be making them myself. And they had the gold edging. And that's what I love about a deck. Not it's everything about it. It's the book, it's the box, it's the overall feel. So I was a bit disappointed. I know there is different versions and this is probably more mass produced. Maybe it was when they first come out, or, you know. But hey ho, I can always edge them myself anyway. But I probably won't. I won't touch these because these are going to go out in the competition. I love the back, how the idea, they look very, not Book of Shadows, but more very old bookish, don't they? What you find in a church, or even, it's that leather bound old book, or even, to me, they look like table mats from here. Obviously, I brought these 2 years ago when I was doing my oracle cards, because I knew that they didn't have to be read as much as tarot cards, as you'll see in the moment, and as she says in the book. So they are bigger. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I love a big cards. It's what I'm used to. She's took this totally different, and they're more like affirmations. She does explain here how she wants you to kind of use your intuition, and she's not really given meanings to a card to go on how you feel with that. Obviously, they are named rather than swords, wands, cups and pentacles, etc. We've got earth, air, fire, which would represent fire. Wands, some people say swords. So let's say cups would be water for definite. Earth would be pentacles or coins. But as she's got in here, you know, a few keywords, as you can see, but it's more of affirmations and how you feel from a card. So, like I say, if you want to know more what I'm on about, all you need to do, keep up with my videos, subscribe, go over to Facebook, because these will be up for offer soon of giveaway. I've never done a reading with them. I keep going back to them and having a look, and that's it. So we'll go through some of the cards. The imagery is lovely. I don't know if they're by her herself. Cover design, cover illustrated. Doesn't actually say. So some of the major arcanas are changed. We've got Temptation, which I presume would that be the devil at 15. Don't quote me, like say. No professional here, but Money, Bite of the Poisonous Apple. Ace of Earth is going to be Ace of Pentacles. But gorgeous imagery as they are. I mean, there's a few animals on them. We've got the Fool. They're gorgeous, and they look lovely in posts. I've got a fellow Facebooker uses them with other cards, so if you do posts, Instagram, or you know, you're anyone like me and you've taken pictures of your cards, this is lovely mermaid. But I know jewels, but there's not a lot going off. And to begin with, when I first brought these, I'm more of a visual. I read the pictures, so just for me personally, I couldn't get a lot from them, although they are gorgeous imagery, but looking through them today, they're very, very mixed up. Oh, look, the gorgeous tiger there, look. And you can see the different names, and then he looks like Santa or God. How God was depicted to me as in school. Anyway, so as you can see, they're all, yes, we've got the water ones, but every one of them, to me, I couldn't tell you a lot of difference between that one and that one. The 4 and a 5, whereas if we compared it to the other, you know, a 4 and 5 of cups, you can definitely see the difference. By all means, not a bad deck. Gorgeous imagery, the Hermit, the closed door. So if you read tarot yourself, the Moon, which is the coral card, then these are great for that. Messenger of the Water, I think that's a knight, maybe, because they're also known as messengers. So, and then we've got a fairy, and then we had an animal. So it just, they're very similar to her animal spirit cards out at the moment, I think. Which I'm not too, they're not on my wish list, put it that way, but her goddess cards are the High Priestess. So even the Tower, this is what I do love, because in the Tower, although people worry and it can mean destruction, we know it's a good card, we know it's about energy clearing out for other things to happen, blah blah. But in the Tower, it's always someone falling out. In the cartoony pack, it was someone falling out of the tower. I do love how this is a very positive card to me. How it's shining. You can see that light really, boom. It's as if it's like bright new beginnings, end of a light at the end of the tunnel. So very different. So if that floats your boat, like you say, all you've got to do is keep up with my wishy-washy videos on my channel, and they will be up for grabs soon, because I can't gel with these ones. Right. So moving on, because I didn't realise this would take so long. I thought it'd be a 10-minute video. We're half an hour in. Anyway, I'm loving it. Hope you are. Now, this is where a few people, if you've stayed with me this long, we might drop some views, and I'm not going to go into it. I didn't know that much about it myself. Doreen Virtue, you either love her or you don't, because of how she did, and basically she's a bit of a hypocrite. You know, started off, made all these things, took a name off the decks. Anyway, some people are selling their decks and they're worth loads of money. Well, I'm keeping mine. I don't care whose name is on them. I'm not keeping them for money, just because they either work for me or they don't. As I said, love Colette Baron-Reid, but I can't get on with her deck. Anyway, I do